What's up, guys? Today we're gonna be working on my truck. Right now what we're working on is I want to try and get an engine cage kind of drawn out and mocked up, maybe a couple tubes made. Here's a little sneak peek at the upper arm. This is a prototype 3D printed arm. That's kind of what it's gonna look like in there. I got my upper controller mounts here soon. I'll make a video on that, so we can assemble those and kind of get the suspension cycling. Anyway, back to the engine cage. So the main idea, I want to start with the tube that goes across the engine, or across the firewall rather, right there. So let me get started, pull some measurements, and yeah, we'll make a tube. Alright, so we got our measurements. The total spread across the firewall right here is about 60 inches. That's between the hood strut and the other hood strut, which is kind of where I want the end of the tubes to land. It's 60 inches, and we gave ourselves another couple inches on either side of playroom just so we can cut it if we need to. So our measurements are, the cut length is 65, and then we are also, the bend starts, I want the bends to land and follow this path right here on the firewall. So the bend starts between the two. That'll be 32 inches on center. Now, I didn't end up filming making the tube or cutting the tube, so it's already made. It's right here. This is what we've come up with. It's 2-inch 120 wall tubing, DOM. Should be plenty strong enough for the engine cage on this thing. And so yeah, we're gonna try and get this held up in there somehow, and then start running more tubes to it. To get that tube in there, we're gonna have to clear out some of the stuff in here. I'm gonna try and move around as much as I can, get this harness out of the way so we can set it in there all nice. Try and get it as level as we can, and start looking at making tubes that'll go from the frame up to each corner of that main cross tube. So yeah, I'll set you guys up for a time lapse. Alright, so we're back. We've got the tube up here, mostly level. It's pretty much where it's gonna live. I need to raise it off the throttle body, obviously, so it has room to move around. And now I'm looking at, now I'm looking at how the front of this engine cage is gonna be and how it's gonna connect to that. Go down like that on the frame. So before I took everything apart, the old cross member was 21.5 inches tall. This thing's rolling away. The old cross member height right here for the core support was 21.5 inches tall. So we're gonna build it to the same height. So basically 21.5 off the frame, off the top of the frame. And then I also want it to clear the valve covers on both sides. So we're gonna give it like maybe a 5-degree angle off the frame, and then it's gonna go straight into that bend over there. So I'm gonna cut some tubes out and we'll get back to it. We spent a couple hours making some tubes. Here's where we're at. I still need to make the cope. Around that. But this is kind of the idea of how it's gonna look. This is the main structure across, and then we'll have from this miter over to there will be kind of a wing where I can house like the remote, what's it called? The remote terminals for the battery, because the battery's now in the back. There's like some vacuum stuff for AC and 4-wheel drive in here. And then on the other side, it'll have the same thing. House the fuse box and leave room for brake booster, master cylinder to be able to come out. We'll have support tubes going down in the middle, in between here, out here to the frame. And then same on this side, obviously. And then from this tube, we'll have tabs that go down and capture the shock. It'll be a little bit lower, so yeah, that's how it's going. It's another day, Sunday of the weekend. Unfortunately, this is as far as we got. We got this tube tacked on, and the cross tube and other tube are back there. But unfortunately, this is as far as we can get, because if we go over here, we're gonna find that the gas line on the welder broke. And I tried to duct tape it to try and seal it back up, but it's just not gonna work. So that's it for this weekend, unfortunately. So